So he's coming to me with all this stuff, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. Like, this is a dream scenario as a business owner. So we've all been at points in our life where there's an abundance of opportunity and business and connections and people coming into our world, right? And then we've all been at points where maybe we're, sitting there checking our phone, looking for leads or looking for business or looking for people that are reaching out to us, wanting to learn more or wanting to connect. And maybe we feel a little bit of scarcity around that. Like there's not enough. I'm putting out some content, I'm putting out some effort, and I don't feel like I'm getting enough coming my way. I'm a little bit frustrated that I'm not getting anything in return. And I've been there, raise my hand, right? I go through phases like that every week where, some days, actually earlier this week, we had a big promotion and we had a lot of new clients come in. The end of this week was a little bit quieter, and that's okay, right? A few years ago, that would have bothered me. I would have taken that personally. It would have affected my ego. Now, as I've matured a little bit, I take those things in stride because I know that there's ebbs and flows. I live by the ocean. I go in the ocean as much as I can, and that's waves in the ocean, right? They come and they go. We can't experience the peaks all the time, and we're not going to experience the valleys all the time either. We experience both, and we've got to be able to ride that wave. So if you're at a point where maybe you're really valuable, you're creating a lot of value, and you're getting a lot in return right now, but you want more. Or maybe you're feeling like you're in a valley where you're trying, you're putting in the effort, you're working hard, maybe long hours, maybe you're putting out a lot of content, maybe you're knocking on a lot of doors, maybe you're reaching out to a lot of people, maybe you're not getting what you want or what you might think you deserve in return, or maybe you're not getting it as quickly enough, or maybe you're getting some, but it's not the quality that you want or the level that you want. And so one of the things that I like to think about, actually the only thing I really think about at that point when I'm feeling that, like maybe a little bit down, is okay, if I am not getting the value that I want, then in some way I'm not providing enough value, right? The world, business, life, it's a value exchange. So if I'm not getting what I want, then I ask myself, how can I provide more value? I'm putting out content every day, right? But am I getting stale with my content? Is it boring? Is it like the same old stuff I've been talking about? Am I rambling too much, right? Is it not, sharply enough edited? How can I provide more value? How can I maybe go deeper? How can I maybe try to solve bigger problems, more important problems, more pressing problems? How can I, touch on some pain points in my market and touch on those problems a little bit more so that my solution is more valuable? So that's the way that I think. When I sit down here at my laptop to write, when I write in my notebook, when I'm recording here on video, when I'm doing a podcast, I'll recalibrate and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm not getting the value that I want. We're not getting as many clients as I want right now. Our revenue might not be where I want it to be right now. So rather than blame the market or blame the economy or blame the world or blame whatever prospects that aren't giving me money or whatever, I'm internalizing that. I take extreme ownership. One of my top favorite books of all time, Jocko, Extreme Ownership. I take ownership. I'm like, all right, well, how can I create more value? And this video right here is an example of that, because this is a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more vulnerable for me, getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. I share a lot of content, but I tend to put up a little bit of a wall and kind of keep stuff inside. And I'm trying to work on getting a little bit more vulnerable, because we connect through our vulnerability, right? We impress people with our Instagram and Facebook posts and flexing and all that. We impress people with our strength, but we connect with our vulnerability. And that's one of the top lessons that I've taken from Craig Rochelle, which, he's got a lot of awesome leadership lessons, but that one has really stuck with me over the years, which is we impress with our strengths, we connect with our vulnerability, right? So I'm always asking, how can I provide more value? How can I go deeper? How can I maybe be a little bit more vulnerable, get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and try to connect with people on a people-to-people level, right? Because people do business with people. Now, as far as creating more value, how do you actually do that? I want to illustrate that lesson in terms of an example that I witnessed, that I experienced firsthand in our business this week. So Pedro Moreno, the gentleman who is editing this video right now. What's up, Pedro? Great job, brother. So he came to me maybe about a week ago, and he said, hey, I've got a proposal for you. So keep in mind, a little backstory. Pedro and I have been working together for, 3 years? It's got to be going on 3 years. Been doing an awesome job. We've been growing together. Our videos a few years ago were okay. Now they're getting better, and we've got some really good stuff that he's cranking out. Thank you very much. Integral part of our team. And Pedro comes to me after about 3 years, and he says, hey, Joe, I got a proposal. You're spending a lot of time on content production and sharing it, and I'm spending a lot of time on editing. I want to make sure that the work that we're doing is effective, as effective as it can be. I want to grow our YouTube channel. I want to grow our Instagram. I want to grow the business. I want to put out a better product that we're putting out right now. Not that we're putting out is bad. It's very consistent. It's good. It's not great. It's good. I'll admit that. We want to take it to the next level. And that's a total team effort. So he comes to me. We have a couple Zoom calls. He has a whole PDF keynote presentation. Nothing too formal, but probably spent, I'm looking at this thing and I'm looking at the examples. He's copying and pasting good examples from YouTube and Instagram and other social media platforms and putting them into different themes and making recommendations. And here's what we're doing now. Here's what we can be doing. How can we raise things to the next level? He's got all these examples. If I had to guess, this is probably and I'm sorry if I'm underselling it, but he probably put about 6 hours of research, and he brings it to me. We Zoom for about, at least an hour total this week, and goes through it with me. We go back and forth via Messenger after that for a little while, answering some questions. He's thinking outside the box. He's thinking about how can we take this to the next level. He's thinking about what kind of more value he can provide. He's not even asking me, hey Joe, what can I take off of your plate? Or how can I take things off your plate? Because when someone asks me that, it's man, now I gotta think about what I'm doing and then think about what I can possibly give to Pedro to get it off my plate. He didn't ask me that. He came to me and said, hey Joe, these are things that you're doing that I see that you're doing. I can take them off your plate for you. I can do them better. No offense, I can do them better. I can take them off your plate. And what I'm proposing to you is zero more work to you. And this whole proposal of how we can do this thing, how we can track our numbers better, and how we can get more mileage out of the content that we're already producing. How do we make it more valuable to our market? Are they pieces of content that our audience, that our market is inspired to share? If not, how can we make those content pieces shareable? So he's coming to me with all this stuff, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is a dream scenario as a business owner, to have a team member come to you with a well thought out, well researched, well put together proposal and say, hey, we've been working together for 3 years, but I want to make sure that we're not getting stale. I believe in the brand. I believe in the mission that we're on, and I want to take us to the next level. And here's how we're going to do that. And that's leadership. That's his leadership. He's leading me. All right. It's not always the fact that the business owner is leading the team member. It's team members leading the business owner as well. Team members leading one another. Team members leading themselves. So it all comes down to leadership. John Maxwell. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Heard him speak at RoofCon this year. It was amazing. And my former business partner, Tim Conley, used to say, when we were building out our team, and he has this exercise called team mapping, where you're actually looking, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months into the future, and mapping out when are we going to need these to hire for these positions? What positions are we going to need to hire? And really planning for that, right? Not waiting until you need someone to go out and hire. Tim used to say, we can either pay people to do the work, or we can pay people to do the work and think. So are we paying people to work, or are we paying people to think? Or are we paying them for both? So in this case, I'm paying Pedro to not only do the work, but to take it upon himself to think. And I didn't tell him to do this. I didn't tell him to, hey, our content's getting stale, our YouTube isn't growing, our channel's not growing as fast as I wanted to, what can we do? I didn't say that to him. He just came to me out of the blue and was like, hey, let's talk. Awesome, right? So Pedro is not only getting paid to do work, But now, you know, he's not now, but always, he's always been thinking about our product and how we make our product better. How do we make our business better? How do we impact more people? How do we serve our market at a higher, more valuable level? And that's awesome. I'm so grateful to have Pedro and others on our team who do that, right? And this isn't a knock on anyone else on our team, because we're all doing this. I just had this experience this week, and I genuinely just like feel the need to like share it and share this lesson. And so when we're going out there to build our team, make sure that we're, you know, not just hiring someone to do the work, but to think about it. Even if it's a laborer whose job it is to do the work, to put on the shingles on the roof, right? We can hire a crew that's just gonna do that, or we can hire a crew that's gonna think about, hey, how can we do things more efficiently? There's a problem on this job. How can I solve this problem on my own without calling the boss man, right? That's a big one, right? Because you don't want phone calls all day. You want people that are gonna be able to solve problems on their own. Whether they're in your company or they're subcontracted labor crews, doesn't matter. Like if you can pay people to think in addition to do the work, that's a home run. And that's how you are going to grow your business exponentially, not just like a little bit, you know, little by little. And that's the key. That's the key to getting to the next level. And so I just want to share that lesson. It's a valuable, absolutely valuable lesson to be thinking about as a business owner. How do you build a team of people that are thinking in addition to doing the work? And if you are on a team as a non-business owner, how do you provide more value to the company that you are a part of? And for everyone out there, if you're back to the beginning of this, if the reality that you're experiencing right now is not the reality that you want, then go internal, look in the mirror, take ownership, take extreme ownership, and ask yourself how you can be more valuable, because the world is efficient. The more value that you provide, the more you will get in return. Ask yourself how you can be more valuable to your market, to the world, to your team, to yourself, to your family, whatever it is, and you will get what you want. So I hope that lesson hits home. If you like this video, if you like the content that I put out here, if you like this lesson, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, send us a message. We'd love to hear your feedback. Make sure that you're following us on all of our channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Head over to our website at contractordynamics.com if you want some more free training, and we'll talk to you soon.